Hi everyone. No stream tonight. I mean, I did one last week, so I haven't really got time. So bi-monthly is probably a good one for me. Anyway, so I thought I'd give you a little update, a little video, and a few little bits and pieces. You know most things. Update, yeah, we're getting on well. We're just at that the cusp of turning on manufacturing. You know, a couple of little things cropping up, but you'll notice a lot of monitors around me. This one here is they're pre-production finished chassis. That one over there is actually slightly earlier. This is the black one. Can't see it because it's black, but it does look really nice. I'm biased, but as I always say, I have to make this so I like it, and then I hope that everyone agrees. One important thing, well, you can see because I've made Amiga 3K. Right, so here's the thing. We had a problem. My Amiga with the Pi Storm in it. We had to take it out because it wasn't. There's a bit of an issue. Remember, it's not finished. A little bit of issue. I took it out, and so I've got a standard 68K in it. So going back to 68K, it's awesome. Do you know what? I might not accelerate it. I might actually leave it with 68K. We've got some. We're making their own custom little 68K boards with the little square CMOS one. I think that's the right way of putting it. Slightly quicker, so we can overclock it just a little bit. But the 68K here with 3.5 megabytes of RAM from the Mini MIG design, because we've not got the 6 meg one. We went for the slightly earlier one. But again, this is I'm going to call it for like the nutters like me. This is as close to the original. So it's basically an A500 Plus with that chipset, 2 mega chip RAM, and then 1.5 meg. I think it's technically slow RAM. I'm not sure exactly. It's called slow RAM, but I don't know if it's slow RAM, fast RAM, whatever it is. But it runs really well. And I'm amazed at what I've been able to do on it, like Scala and everything. And I've got everything, all these things running, and I've got this big animation stuff running. It's just stunning what it will do, even with the standard 68K. So that's been absolutely wonderful. So as you can see, I've got monitors everywhere. Ignore that plastic. That's just because I got the protective cover on it. So it's just a chassis. I've got quite a few of them. So, but this one's quite important. Now, this is what I actually wanted to make the stream about. Was this one? Now you're thinking, why would you want to talk about this? Because it's quite boring, okay? And in the back, all it's got in it, as you can see, it's got a slot 0. All right, it hasn't even got the HDMI switcher, but it's got a little debug board in the back. Right. This is for Arccoda. Okay, so everyone's been very patient, and I do appreciate that. The reality is that it's quite a big thing to. They base it right. So here's the thing, and they're probably going to watch this. This is to give them a baseline, right? It's no point making anything that's not as good as that. Okay. So the idea is, now I've got a whole lot of. You'll see when you see my manual. There's a future section, and it's got all the things I think it's missing. I don't take that as being it lacks, but I know that there's certain things that I call it the minutia. But there's certain, which I'm going to get slated for saying, but there's certain things like, for example, latency. I think this has got reasonable latency. You know, it's quite low. There's a number of little things that you can do on a CRT you can't do on this. But I think overall this is brilliant. I really, really like it. But I'm sending this off in a chassis. They're pretty much literally the ones that have come out. There's going to be some tweaks to the not texture, but the process, the heat, and how they do the molds. But that's pretty close to being finished as far as that's concerned. So I'm sending it off to them so they know what we're shipping. Okay, they're under instructions not to share this, but they're going to have that, and they know that they have to improve on that. That's the whole my thinking here, and I hope you agree that I want to give them something. So they've got that, and then they can see how good we're doing it. And so there's under no illusions, because originally I was thinking, do I just send them a chassis and let them, and a backplane, and let them do what they want? But now they've got not the very latest slot zero. They've got the latest backplane, but they haven't got, well, in fact they haven't got the latest because there's a tweak to it. But they've got pretty much the latest, and they're pretty much the latest slot zeros, so they can test it, run it, and see how they get on with it. So that's going to go. I want to speak to them first, but that's going to go off to Australia, and then they can have a good look, and then they've really got a good understanding. What's the ground level? What have they've then got to up the game. They know what how good we are, and then what they're going to bring to the table. And then because they've still got work to, there's still a lot of work. It's much easier. Yeah, you get this, you see what you've got to deliver. This is what they're up against. Let's be blunt, right? No disrespect to the guys at all, but this is what they're up against, right? This is, I'm biased. I'm totally biased. But things like that backplane, we've got this complete ecosystem you can build around this. They need to support the backplane. We've got an HDMI output. Right, got a good I know it's bouncing occasionally. I think this might be the cable, because I've got like a 25-foot HDMI cable. I'm just wondering if it's something to do with that cable. I've got to test it with a short cable, see if maybe it makes a difference. But we got so much stuff on this, it's just crazy. So that's all they need, because they don't want to lose all that. But they've got to reproduce it. So the game's on, boys. But I'm hoping they're going to bring some stuff to the table, like maybe the true 15 kilohertz. Right, so the people, because then you don't need the scaler. If you've got a true 15 kilohertz input, you don't need a scaler, which would be fantastic. So that could be that's an instant upgrade, and a faster panel. It won't be IPS, because IPS is 13 millisecond refresh time. So they need to supply one. I've got TNs that are like 3 millisecond refresh time, but they're rubbish when you look at different angles. Okay, so that's my thinking there. But anyway, so that's going off to Arccoda. And they're going to have that in probably a few weeks. I'd rather talk to them first, but it might just be I just ship it. I don't know yet. Because I know that the main guy, Steve, another Steve, he's away at the moment. And then I'm off to China. And we might miss in the middle. So it might be I just send it out earlier. But I just want to go through it. So that's that. And now it's just a fun bit, because someone reposted one of my videos to the Apple IIGS Facebook community, so as everyone knows, I'm gonna be doing a video on this GS. Now, I obviously bought the GS because I wanted to make sure that we can support Apple products. I mean, that's why. But I really like it. Is that right? So here's the thing, and the video is probably going to be called an Amiga Nutter Tries a GS or something like that, right? Clickbait, yeah. But the truth, I kind of feel that the GS is a little bit the same kind of story as the Amiga, yeah. The Apple Steve Jobs basically crippled it, right? Didn't invest in it, was scared it would beat his Macintosh. He did. It's much better than Macintosh. My theory is the Macintosh only got good when OS X came along, and I know you're going to hate me for that, but it's true. Can't compete with the Amiga. Well, actually, it's not true. If you run Mac OS as a task on an Amiga OS, then it's not so bad, because you can use the Amiga, switch screens to the Amiga and do your stuff, and then switch back to the Mac. Much better. Anyway, enough digging into that. Right. So, but here's the thing: is the GS as good as the Amiga? Oh, come on, no. No, but I'm not banging it. I'm not going to bang this system, okay? I'm truly not, because it's got some seriously cool stuff, if you had extra hardware. But it's got some cool stuff. And it is actually a really lovely little computer to use. really like it a lot. And I'm actually, it's kind of inspired me to do a little bit of coding. Nothing for you guys, just for me, just for fun. And I've now got it fully set up. You can see, and you can probably hear that it's got a mod player on it. And it's running it's Desk Play, which I've got that installed on it, and so it kind of, the desktop does kind of multitask. It's a bit too strong, but it does only the desktop, right? As soon as you try and load another program, the music carries on playing, but then that won't run, and then you can't get back, and you have to reboot. So, you know what I mean? I will do, when I do the Mac, because I know some people out there like, not no disrespect, right, but the coders and the engineers and that kind of people, they realise it's not a patch on the Amiga, no, not in a million years, for everything, but it is bloody good, right? It is really, really good, because it's a massive step up from the Apple II, which, again, if you look with hindsight, not hindsight's the wrong word, if you look in relation to the time that the Apple II came out, it was amazing, but of course, a couple of years, I've had I think the Spectrum handles color better than the Apple II range, and I've learnt that from this, because it's basically an Apple II, and as soon as you switch on the advanced features, you get all the new chips and stuff. So it's really, I really like that. So I really like it. I mean, I can't deny it, but it's not as good as an Amiga, and hence why it's been great with the 68K, because I've seen some really cool demos which you have to run an accelerator on it, right? But running that's why I'm running stuff that run on here. The Amigas will walk anything written for the Amiga will walk all over it, everything about it, but it is a brilliant machine. Okay, I absolutely love it, and I think it's going to be one of my second favourite computer, because it is lovely. Anyway, I'll go to about that in the video. But anyway, so that's just so you know, I'm not moving, but it's what a wonderful machine. And to be honest, another slap wrist for Steve Jobs, right? Don't get me wrong, all you Steve Jobs fanboys, I've got all the books downstairs, I watch everything, I respect the guy. Yeah, he's one of those characters that, like, certain things you love what he did, certain things what a dick, and I'm sure that he would agree. So like us all, but the worst thing was he had that crippled, and funny story, you'll all laugh, right? I've been setting it up. It's been a bit, because I bought one of Reactive Micro's, the cheaper SD card readers, and it came with 601 GSOS, but it didn't have everything on it, so I thought I'll reinstall 604. So I created all the discs. Oh, hang on. So I created, because you can download them. So I downloaded. God, open the box. I downloaded them, and it's quite handy because you can buy them, and when you you can download all of the disc images, and they come with the labels as well, which is fantastic. So you can just print the labels, stick them on, which is really nice. But I also got Angry Birds, but I put this picture on, and I didn't want that other one was so low resolution. But I thought I'd put that picture on it, which is kind of cool because my little boy likes that. So yeah, that's that's really cool. Anyway, so I was doing so slow, and it was just it did. I mean, it worked. Got it running, but you open the window and you kind of wait for it to draw. I could draw it with a pencil quicker, and it was doing my head in. Anyway, I put a load of stuff on it and set it all up, and then one of them what I put on it was CPU benchmark. I thought, well, that might be fun because I've got a whole drive with utilities, and most of them I wasn't interested in, but there was 2 or 3 that I really liked, graphics ones, sound play, that kind of thing, But one of them was CPU benchmark, and I ran a CPU benchmark and it said 1 megahertz. I went, what? I thought it was 2.8. Anyway, I know all you Apple guys are laughing your tits off here, right? But it was all this time I've been using it around 1 megahertz. and wondering why it was so slow. And I was like, oh God, I'm not buying an accelerator because if it's not, if it's 3 or 4 times faster than this, it's not going to be worth the effort. I'm not wasting that. Anyway, bit more research. Control panel, speed. It was set to normal. Now I assume normal. I just looked at it with normal. Yeah, fine. I assumed normal was good, and I didn't bother changing it. But there's another one you can change to fast. Switch it to fast. Reboot. Whoa. 2.8 megahertz now. So anyway, I can't. But you know what it's like. You put an accelerator, it's starting to go. Oh, I've got used to it now. Right. So is it now as quick as? Because I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna end up slating this because it's so slow. I mean, I wouldn't slate it, but I'm gonna be. You know, the Amiga is so much quicker. Well, it is still so much quicker, right? But it's not that much now. Oh, blimey. Christ, it's half-hour video. Nah, it's not. I forgot to reset it. I'm back. Yeah, it's now 2.8 meg, and actually now it's actually now the machine that I like, which I like it even more now. And it means that I can run TML Basic, which is I'm playing with, and I've printed the manual, and I really want to. Apple Soft Basic is a bit, well, basic. I've written 5 apps. I'll show you the apps when I do the video. But I've written 5 apps already in Apple Soft Basic. Nothing's fancy, just, you know, drawing a square, moving it around, controlling it with the joystick. All this kind of stuff to kind of understand how it all works. And then I did a 3D, I'd create a data set for a 3D cube and a line drawing routine that would just read that data set, and then I could rotate it. So that's kind of what I was playing with that. But of course, running through that it's in 68K mode. So, but now it's on 2.8. That one's quite quick. But the coding in the old Basic with 9 numbers, oh, horrible. So TML Basic's much better. So I'm going to rewrite that, and it's nothing to release, right? I'm not making it into release, just purely for my fun. My wife reads books, I play with computers, right? That's how it works. So yes, that's going to be coming soon. No rush, you know what I mean? But I want it to be a positive, very positive thing. But there will be a little bit in it comparing. Yeah, but this is a 68K based Amiga, right? There'll be a little bit of that at the end, just so people, understand that yes, it's fantastic, better than a Mac, better than the early Macs. Could have been even better, but it's not an Amiga. I'm sure we could probably emulate it as well. But anyway, I love it. I think it's wonderful. Again, thank you to Daniel. Well, let me just get his name right because he's been an angel. Daniel Henderson, right? He's been fantastic putting up with my noob stuff. Yeah, he's been absolutely brilliant. So, anyway, that's it. As you can see, here's my iAmiga. That's the 68K version. And it's pretty awesome. And there'll be a new video coming out on that. But yeah, right now, the one I play with at the most. The worst thing about my doing this for business is you kind of. Many years ago, I was a dispatch rider. I thought, I've got a motorbike. I love motorbikes, right? It'd be great. And then after 6 months, it kind of kills. So we're doing this for a living. It kind of not kills your love for old computers, but removes the reason. So I bought loads of computers. I bought, Archimedes, BBC Micro. I bought all these old computers, just to test with the monitors, make sure it's all good. The only one that's really buzzed me was the GS. Because I like the story. And I like, I'm British, so I always stick up for the underdog. I like the story behind it. And I just had a good fun. Anyway, this 2-minute video has turned into 20 minutes, as always. That's me. But there you go. So no stream tonight. This instead. But I'll do one next week, so it's all good. So I'm just looking for the stop button. Thanks very much. See you soon. Bye.